Girl, what are you listening to? It really actually doesn't matter what you listen to. You should be listening to Black with No Chaser Radio, clearly. So forgot about that.
Never forget.
Right.
Never forget.
My mistake.
Black with No Chaser Radio.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Gotta get to the money. Same shit again on the money. Gotta get to the money. Same shit again on the money. Same shit again on.
Oh, I like this Black with No Chaser radio station.
Being that you have such a reach, I thank you for putting me on, man.
For sure. And you know, we always ask folks when they first come on here, man, because it's like a tradition. You know, we started doing this the first season. We started, and the question is right there in front of you. You can see it. What comes to mind when you hear Black with No Chaser?
With no chaser. Pure, hardcore, the real. You know what I mean?
The real.
Yeah, man, the essence, the real essence.
Posted, and it was just like living in Atlanta is like attending an HBCU your whole life. And I was like, yo, that meme is on point because
it's interesting because I got a lot of people that live in ATL, and when I go, it's interesting because you can go grocery store, grocery shopping, go to the mall, and you will see nothing but Black folk.
Yes, that's one thing that someone definitely told me. They was just like, what you're gonna love about being here is you don't have to deal with too many pale faces.
Yeah.
So I love that.
The Buckhead now, that's
you got a different story over there. You might need to be careful.
Yeah.
So 1 second, I'm about to call him to make sure that he got the notification.
That boy slipping.
Oh, he just pressed ignore, so that means that he's about to hop on.
He's like, I got this. I'll be there in a minute.
He like, here I come. Don't be rushing me.
So you grew up where? You grew up in Mississippi?
I grew up in Clarksdale, Mississippi, which is actually like in the Delta, in the northern part.
Look at this joker come in. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know, Black folk come in late. They come in late on purpose.
Hey, I had to come in. I was like, yo. I was like, man, because what's funny is, dude was just rapping. I've never seen this before in my life.
I didn't want to leave, but I had to hop over here.
Of all internships, bro was like, y'all want me to speak? Like, I just want to let y'all know, man, I spit too. I rap. He was like, so TY was like, well, I mean,
drop them bars.
You can't throw that out there and say you a rapper and not.
Wait, this was another interview?
No,
yeah, this was just like two seconds ago. Yeah.
Oh.
So he was like, so he don't know this though, but I'm actually going. This be some content gonna go on beat that we're gonna help out this brother go viral, because this is part of, I think, the beauty of Black with No Chasing. What we do is, you ain't never gonna get an interview as an intern where you can feel like yourself, where you can even open up about the fact that you rap, and so the fact that you rap, spit your bars, speak your truth, you know what I mean, and then still be like, I'm accepted. At the same time, yeah, that's different.
You ain't gonna get the same.
Nah, bro. You ain't gonna go to. I keep saying you ain't going to CNN till I'm doing multimedia work till they want to hear your raps, man. You better.
Nah, dog, that ain't happening.
You better stick with these papers and stop playing with me. Better be glad.
Look, Cirillo, as soon as I got home, he asked me where I was from, and guess what? Where he is born and raised.
Don't tell me Clarksdale.
Jackson.
Nah, Jackson.
So I was born in Jackson. I lived there for about 5-6 years. Then I moved to Austin, then to Tallahassee, then grad school, then college in Texas, then grad school in LA.
Bro, first of all, I went to school in Jackson for 3 years. I went to school at Mississippi College Law School.
Yeah.
I went to FAMU for undergrad and Tally. So I'm like, oh, that shit
Yeah.
crazy.
So I'm older than you. What year was you in Tally?
I was there from 04 to 08.
Yeah. See, I was long gone by then.
I
went. Yeah. So Tallahassee, is like, it ain't a bad place to raise a kid, but in terms of you trying to expand your horizons as you get older and start to play yourself, you got to get up out of there because there ain't many opportunities.
Yeah, man. I would say it's probably a little bit better now, even when I was there, because of just like the capital is becoming more booming for like, more industry, more money is being driven to the capital, so on and so forth. But yeah, I can imagine when you were there, it was like, yo,
that joint
wow.
That joint was like Mayberry with two colleges.
Yo, that's it. That's it though. That's really it. Tallahassee, dog, was a tale 2 colleges, man, and poor TCC, man. Because they on the outskirts of Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody checking for y'all, man. Good luck over there.
So you from
listen,
Louisiana?
I'm from New Orleans.
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, born and raised in New Orleans, and now I'm in DC. So DC's been love. It's been good. So can't complain.
So y'all in the chocolate cities of the U.S.
That's right.
All facts.
Hey, look, no matter what they say,
Keeping
man,
it black with no chaser.
I mean, it's just only right, man. It's funny. I like how I always gravitated towards black ass cities because like Jackson, DC, Tallahassee, even though people try to make it seem like a super bike, it's really, really a black city for real. And it's like maybe half and half now. And then of course New Orleans, well, that's like probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, Tallahassee pretty much just southern Georgia. It ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, come on, y'all. Thomasville, a rock throw away. You right there, Georgia.
Right there.
Like, you right there. So I already know. I know. Yep. Well, it's good to have you on, brother.
Well, listen, absolutely. We are very excited to have you on. So before we even get into this interview, we're going to ask you the first question that we ask everyone as soon as they come on to the show. And that is, what comes to mind when you hear the words Black with No Chaser?
Unapologetically determined to be human as a black person. Like because for so long throughout history, we've been told that we're less than human, and I think to engage your blackness with no chaser just means that you willing to pretty much die in an effort to maintain a certain level of dignity. The old saying that I rather die on my feet than to live on my knees situation.
That's real.
Yes.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, man.
Super real.
I mean,
we always end up getting different responses to it all the time. So I definitely look forward to everyone's different answers to it, because we always take something different from it. So you added the word determined in there, and that piece is actually very important because, we can be unapologetic about a lot of things, but if we're honestly not determined in our hearts and our minds about it, sometimes our unapologeticness kind of gets overlooked because the determination about it isn't there. So I thought that was very unique that you used the word determined.
It's not easy. It's not easy, because we have to, in order to achieve a certain station in life, we're told we have to be and act a certain way. We all, person in America, we all are very familiar with code switching, even if we don't know what the term means, know the term to describe what it is, right? You put your voice on the phone when you're trying to get a home loan or you're trying to rent an apartment, you know what I'm saying? And it's like to be black with no chaser, to me, is to be able to live in your fullness without having to acquiesce in a way that compromises your identity as a black person.
Yeah, I love it, man. Those are my favorite words. I be like acquiesce, man. And it's like, and in some ways, and sometimes in life, though, man, not in terms of my blackness, but in terms of just in general, like as the compromise, you might acquiesce to certain things or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But in terms of on that human level, man, I talk about this a lot just in my advocacy, and really that was born out of when I first read the autobiography of Malcolm X, man, and really when he learned when he went to the Mecca was
Mhm.
really about humanity. He was like, at first I'm out for black folk, but he really like, yo,
Mhm.
white folk did a number on us in terms of like the entire world
Mhm.
on being the paradigm, if you will, for what it is to be human. And he was like, hold on, dog, we got to make a paradigm shift
Mhm.
and towards like what really humanity is all about, which is
Yes.
why he advocated for putting the United States on trial for the crimes against humanity and not just black people, man.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's what we're really talking about here is the crimes against humanity and what's having allowed black people to live in their fullness and be determined about that. Because why? When we did get determined, the KKK sprouted up. When we get determined, vagrancy laws popped up. When we were determined, right, like poll taxes. When we were determined, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I feel like now we're moving into a hope, you know what I'm saying? We inching towards closer, man. We seen Evanston, Illinois, man, recently, or Indiana recently passed, reparations for that. I'm not sure if you saw it, but if you did, man, I'd love to get your thoughts about that and what you think about the fact that they're addressing reparations in their own
I did
way.
a story about it.
Huh?
I did a story about it.
Well, perfect then. Well, then let's weigh in then, brother. Come on
Yeah.
then. How you feel about that right now, though?
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. It's interesting that they are doing it, from the aspect of weed sales. It's like the tax from marijuana sales is used to subsidize housing and education and things like that in Evanston, and I think it's appropriate considering how many kinfolks have been locked up over marijuana charges. So it's I think and what's also interesting about it is that they're serving as a model, as a blueprint for other cities, to try to identify ways in which they can incorporate some level of reparations into, their city.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Dope.
Yeah.
Dope,
So
man.
do you think that this is going to be, do you think it's going to encourage other states that are not, let's just go on and say it, Mississippi, you know that we're behind on everything in Mississippi. So do you think that this move is going to kind of encourage states like Mississippi to make other strides, to make things legal to the point that they can be able to bring in that type of revenue so that they can give back? Or do you think not, considering what type of state Mississippi is?
Well, I think, going back to the humanity plate, this may be a long way to the answer. So if it's too long, to just feel free to shut me up.
No, we here. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I think in terms of the conversation we were just having about humanity, I also recognize that those who are in power, like being in power is a comfortable position. You know what I'm saying? And many of us would want to be in power. And so if you have power, it's not as if you just gonna relinquish that willingly, And Dr. King said it, Malcolm X said it, many of our great leaders have said that, those who are in power are not just gonna give it up, And so I think in terms of this idea of the reparations model being duplicated in states like Mississippi or any state across the country, I think it would have to be some boots on the ground that recognize what's happening in other places like Evanston and modify it to fit the circumstances within their state, and then they have to bring it to the powers that be in a way that's based in reason and not emotion, right? Because we passionate and we got the emotion, but we know this thing is a marathon and not a sprint, and emotion usually don't carry you the distance that you need to go in order to put in the work that needs to be put in to actualize the objective that you're trying to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So if let's say the three of us, we are in Mississippi and we got connections, we maybe work for a nonprofit, or we involved in local politics on the city council level, and we see, they doing this thing in Evanston. How can we modify that to fit Jackson, Mississippi, right? Mm-hmm. on the local level, and then if we can just put together a little pilot program on the local level, and we see, this is the thing too now, It's like it ain't just gonna benefit the kin folks, you know. You got to bring it. You got to bring them concentric circles of race and class in the mix. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So if you can figure out a way to where it's not just myopically focused on, well, black folk need all the money, which of course that may be the subtext, but let's dress it in some clothes and put a little spice on that to where it's palatable to the
Hey,
folks
man, don't be
that.
giving away all the secrets, all the tea, man. We gonna fool around and then they ain't gonna want to do no work. Don't give it all. Don't say that's in the subtext. Don't do that. Yo, my man said, yo, now look, I'm just letting y'all know that's not what we're doing, but that's what we're really doing. Like, nah, man, it reminds me of every activist, man, that I felt like ever worked for any progressive nonprofit, really, which is we always know to extract. We always teach you from an activist standpoint is how can we extract resources and gain the knowledge we need to gain, whether it be institutional or otherwise, and bring that back to our communities, so we can grow our communities. And so yeah, I mean, it's not. I think that a lot of times from an organizing level, and it seems like you're not foreign to it. For any organizer, that's just kind of how that's just par for the course. You know what I mean? But it's just more about how do we gain enough, even not even just allies at this point, but more accomplices, as a lot of folk would say, comrades in the fight, if you will. Then the more of those our counterparts get to jump on, people that's willing to die for this as well. Not just look at us and say, man, I'm gonna put out a letter in response to your troubles. Good luck with y'all, man. And if y'all need anything, I may be on a call, or I may not be. But more importantly, we all going to jail. This building getting bombed. We all getting bombed together. I know it's kind of a very tongue-in-cheek way to put it, but sometimes though, man, it's really like you said. It's determined is something about you willing to die for something, and so it's like I think that a lot of times when it comes to a head, when it comes to survival, and I'm not just talking about living and dying, but more so about dollars and cents and how I'm gonna feed my family versus your family. And when the rubber meets the road, I don't care who you are, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna feed my family, right? And I think that sometimes is very tough because when you look at the scarcity of the dollar and the concentration of wealth, albeit at the top, you got many of folks across racial and class lines that are just like, yo, I'm scratching and clawing like the next person. That's why you see a lot of white folks out here saying, look, I get y'all hurting, but I also live in a trailer park too. I've been living there and my family's living for generations. And I hear y'all, but then that's why we got to find a way, to your point, I was always like, we got to find a way to have some synergy and really do what should have been done during slavery, is rise up against the haves and make a true battle with the haves and have nots. You feel me? That's what it's really about.
Well, throughout history, it's been tried. Bacon's Rebellion was that.
Yeah.
And that's before America was even a country. Bacon's Rebellion, the slaves was with the poor folks. But then the elite planters was like, no. We can't have that.
All these Irish folks, they got to be overseers. All these folks, we got to give them some power. Not real power, but illusory power, the feeling of power.
Right.
And that's a crazy drug too, is that
illusion power.
Got
there
power.
You go.
Placebo. It's like folks that got a lot of followers and you think they got bread. You ain't, just because you got a lot of followers don't mean you making change. It's like there's a disconnect, or if you will, between these two things. And I feel like sometimes, man, it's just important to make it real for folks, man, because it's a hard conversation to have even with some black people, because it's like, what became first, the chicken or the egg? Was it a class issue or was it a race issue? I remember Pharrell once upon a time got into a whole people started pushing back against him because Pharrell was like, y'all arguing about race, but I'm telling you, at the top, it's about class. And everybody's like, oh, Pharrell, man, he don't get it. He not tapped in anymore, man. He out of touch. But to some degree, though, if you go back to the Baker's Rebellion, it started as
he
class.
was right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
and then Fred Hampton got killed over because he was like he going to the poor white folks that's calling him all sorts of things, and he convinced them, look, man, what's happening to us is the same thing
to you.
It's in a different way. And he convinced them, and the folks are like, whoa, hold on. Dr. King, when he went to Chicago, same thing,
man. So look, let's get into a little bit about you though. From Jackson, Mississippi to Vice News, What's the story?
That what what y'all want to talk about?
Y'all want to talk about Vice? You want to talk about my career?
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to talk about Vice and all that, but I you know, to give a whole I'm trying to see about giving a biography of how I got there. Let me see if I can abbreviate it. I was a class clown in school because that's the only way I knew how to get girls. And then it was a professor in college told me, he was like, basically in so many words, not exactly, but this is Dr. Amari Obedin, who's in COBRA, National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America. When we talk about reparations, he was one of them professors on campus that he ain't
with about that life. Like,
about it.
They always had like one or two on campus that was really
always.
Yes.
That's
shout out to Dr. Woods at Tougaloo College because he put that fire in our ass.
So basically, he was one of the professors that I couldn't charm my way from a C to a B. You know, he's like, "What you doing, son?" He's like, "You silly funny. You ain't smart funny." You know what I'm saying?
You like, hold on, what that mean?
Yeah. You know, and he kind of pulled my coattail and like, for you, Cirillo, yours was autobiography of Malcolm X. Mine was Dr. Carter G. Wood's Miseducation of the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that book, when he said when you control a man's thinking, you control his actions, I was like, don't nobody control me, dog. You know what I'm saying? And then I started reading more books and I was like, I actually am being controlled by other people, right? In terms of like spending money I don't have to impress people that I don't know, and you know, all sorts of stuff, you know, that like, and then you start reading all these other black books, and then I started reading books that told me black folks did everything, white folks ain't do nothing. If white folks say they did something, it's because they stole it for black folks. And to an extent that was true, but then if you are a person that is really dedicated to intellectual development and growth with no bias, then you got to look behind that. So I'm looking at these books and I'm reading stuff that's confirming what I want to believe, but they ain't got no works cited, no bibliography, no none of that, right? Mm-hmm. And so fast forward, I wanted to challenge myself to develop my intellect on an academic level. So I went to grad school in LA for philosophy, but still was a class clown, and moved to New York and and started doing some stand-up and whatnot. And then I got management. They were like, "You're much more than a comedian. The world should see you as such." And then they got me the opportunity at Vice, and it combined, you know, most of my interests.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's funny how, like, you know, I think about, you know, even me and Secret with this show, and then just like sometimes, like, you know, you have like this very narrow, even your own self, right? Have a very short-sighted way of looking at it, like, and then they got people you don't even know who looking at you, mm-hmm. and will be seeing something in you because they've been to the quote unquote promised land. I know what talent got there, and you better than the talent that got there. So we just got to put the resources behind you, and I feel like that's just really a microcosm for what it is for our communities. Like, I mean, they got a wealth of talent in our communities that but just never see a light of day because of lack of resources. And I'm happy for you, brother, that you had the opportunity to somebody saw that in you and they say, you know what though, man, you more than a comedian, man. Like, you got something to say, and you come with a little more substance than most comedians.
Well, and it's not to say that comedians don't come with substance.
Oh, no. I think a lot of comedians, the really good ones, like the Dave Chappelle's and the Richard Pryors and Tiffany, they actually are very political because they're looking at the times and trying to put it in a more funnier manner so we could all laugh about the heartbreak we've been dealing with of society. And so the greats are very, very well versed.
And then to give credit to some of my peers, man, like Zainab Johnson, or Yamanika Sanders, you know, like Chloe Hilliard. Like, I got a whole list of comics that, you know, they ain't made it yet, but they bring the funk, you know.
Man, tell them to come on here though. If they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Tell them to come on.
For real,
we'll line them up. We'll line them up one after another, man. Like,
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. For real. I mean, 'cause that's why we started this, to be honest, man. We started this because, like, yeah, we were interested in like, highlight some of the greats and the legends out there, but we really were interested, and that was more of a Trojan horse to get more followers to then bring on bubbling
Yeah,
talent into the space. So people that were looking for a space but didn't really have that energy behind them, we can say, look, yeah, we not the whatever you think the marquee thing is yet, but we wanted one of the
Right.
few that's willing to bring you on here and say, look, and have the world, whatever
yeah,
those amount of thousands of views gonna mean to you.
yeah,
That's more eyeballs on your talent. It only takes one. Just like you said, you saw one
That's
person
it.
saw you, and they say, you know what though, you need to be here. And I think that
yeah,
that's really the important part about creating content, and not doing it for the clout chasing, but doing it for the love of like really edifying folks in
The
our
culture.
community. Yeah, the
yeah,
culture, man. That's what it's really
yeah,
about, though, dog. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Is what I'm saying.
yeah.
So what do we have to look forward to that's coming up next for you?
I mean, advice. We always got stuff cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like it may be
Facts.
as we
Boom,
serving the
boom,
dish.
boom over
Yeah,
there.
yeah. As we serving the dish advice, you best believe there's some
Something in the oven.
in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
stirring it up, putting the ingredients in, and you have some stories that take longer leads. And then
Yeah.
there's stuff that comes out. Like when George Floyd happened. That you got to just be out there.
Yes.
You have to
Yeah.
engage with the people, and that's one of the things that's cool at Vice is that they allow a certain level of freedom to engage subject matter that is popular in mainstream media, but we get to look at various angles of it. Like when we were in Minneapolis, we covered the protest, but we also covered the folks that were that had a headquarters in which they dispatched volunteer medics. They had people who were bringing in all sorts of donations like fire hydrants. I mean, not fire hydrants, fire extinguishers, diapers, water, food. So even if you weren't a part of the protest, right? But you, a single parent, and the grocery stores are closed because of the protest, but you need to feed your baby and have diapers for your baby. You just call them up, and they got a complicated system of dispatchers to send your whatever you need your way. And so like profiling the background of what is in the media in a large way is one of the things that I really like about what I'm able to do at Vice. And then you're able to just pitch stuff. You pitch stuff, and if it gets green lit, then you go out and you allow people
That's
to have a
right.
voice on the platform.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I don't know if I answered your question though.
Nah, man, it
No,
was
you
horrible,
did.
man. It was a horrible answer, man. It was terrible. Nah, it was terrible. Yeah.
It's one thing to be the person that usually do the interviews.
Yeah, you be like, I'm say what I need to say, dog. Like,
Right.
is that what y'all was looking for?
Yeah.
Man? 'Cause I'm using on your side of things, man.
And then,
But nah.
and then when I'm on your side, I'm like, they ain't even answered the question.
No, it's funny you say that because like it's been a couple of times, not a lot, but a couple of times, and I ain't really gonna say no names, but it's been a couple of interviews. I'd be like, damn, man, that definitely wasn't the question. But
You
it's
did not
cool.
answer the question.
We're gonna let you go
Yo.
because we creating safe spaces for Black people, man. I ain't trying to get you caught up, man, with the people. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get you caught up, man.
Yo, have y'all ever had a guest? Because we essentially we do the same thing. We interview folks and try to engage them. Right now, have y'all ever had guests where you could tell they have an agenda, and the way that they answer the question will always go back to that agenda,
to that thing? You be like, but bruh, it's my interview. This ain't yours.
Bro, I wasn't
Like,
talking about that.
Ain't nobody, and see the thing is, yo, Alzo, bro, check this out, dog. The thing about this is I cut my teeth in politics, so I know about answering the question, not that you heard, but what you want. And I get that. I get that when you're trying to stay on message, but this ain't that kind of party.
Yeah.
Like we ain't doing that, right? This ain't, you know what I mean? I know when I'm being given the wrap around and you got an agenda. Oh, I can hear it straight. I can hear the moment you begin to talk. I can almost feel it through the actual like phone or computer
Yeah,
when you're on.
yeah,
He tell you
yeah,
about your posture, the way you come
It's
on.
like, here we
Kind
go.
of dry, you know. I'm like, oh yeah, it's one
yeah,
of them interviews. Okay, okay,
yeah.
all right, brother, sister, I hear you. Okay,
You'll be like,
yeah,
so you know, I know I keep saying this, but I want to get back to it. I want to. You be like, bro.
yeah, yeah. You okay? We know why you here, but you also on our show, so we gave that little time, but you want nah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
done already
yeah.
pivoted,
Trust me,
bro.
it's clear at this point.
Yeah, man. But nah, man, look, it was definitely a blessing to have you on,
Hey,
man,
we
for real,
done?
dog.
We done?
Dog,
Absolutely.
30 minutes.
We
It
are.
went by just like that. Now, if you
It's a
want to come back
wrap that
again, though,
quick. It seemed like it
hey,
was 5 minutes.
you know what we could do from a Vice level? You can always have us on, and me and Secret from the Black Lunch Break come on Vice and talk a whole lot of shit, and we could be interviewed.
We sure
Just so
could.
you know, we the platform. So we the platform, right? When the Capitol riots and all that other stuff was out there, nobody really represented. There was nobody from any real progressive news outlet or black news outlet that was out there. I went out there. So the video that you saw, I don't know if you saw it, was a brother in a green Scully like this. It was a black with no chaser hoodie on, and it went viral. Got shared over like almost 20 million
Oh, I
times.
think I did see that. That was you?
That was me. That was me.
That's him.
And so, yeah, man, that was a kind of crazy moment too, though, man. Because like going like our platform is going viral, but nobody from our platform has gone viral. If that makes sense. And so that was the first time we had an actual talent within the group to really. Oh no, but Leslie, first of all, Leslie articles have gone viral a bunch of times.
Yeah, his
Leslie,
articles go viral all the time.
honestly, though, y'all should really tap into Leslie at some point, just on like a commission type project. And this is a side conversation, you know what I mean? Because Leslie is, and if you check him out, man, happy to send some articles. But you know, dog, he's a gem. He's one of them dudes where if you give him some oxygen, you know, he's a constitutional lawyer. But you know, the brother is brilliant. His father was really locked arms in the whole civil rights movement. He's from the SIP. But the brother is brilliant for real. And he needs that. He needs some more oxygen, man. He needs some more play. And I'm not saying that Black People Chaser would not love to have him, but on some real commission project, he needs that. He needs that plug.
What's
for
his
sure.
last name?
Leslie McElmore.
Okay.
McElmore, yeah. And so you can check him out on the website. Look at his article. Some of this shit is funny, but you could tell the wittiness in it is really, I think, the style of writing that people enjoy and very engaging. Though he's a dope brother for sure. So, yeah, man, it was a pleasure.
And we're gonna follow you on social media too, so we could drop some of those links up in your inbox.
Yeah, feel free.
Because he got an article that he wrote about Cecil. Fuck your fountain.
Oh yeah, no,
and that article was amazing for Black History Month. Yeah.
Yo, that shit go viral every time we post it, and people act like they never read the article a day in their life. And every time we put it up there, it get like 175,000 hits on the website alone from one article. Like it just like, so yeah, that dude got a gifted gab. That's what.
Black people do read.
For sure. Well, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It was fun.
Absolutely.
For sure, man. Anytime, brother. Anytime. And look,
thank you so much. Until next time, bro.
Yeah, and anybody in your network, dog, that feel like they need to, want to come on, man, say their piece or whatever it is, man. We happy to have them on for sure.
Oh anytime. Yeah. I mean, I got a list of let's be in touch. Let's be in touch.
Sure. Absolutely, bro. Take care, man.
Let's do that, bro.
M's up.
M's up.
The sip. The sip.
I really appreciate y'all. This has been one of the most amazing interviews I've ever done. My job as one of the OGs, and my teachers will tell you, my teachers started Duke Ellington, the first class of Duke Ellington in DC. They were revolutionaries. They were street kings and queens. Glenda Dickerson, I got to give homage. Mike Malone, Peggy Cooper Cafridge, Skipper Driscoll, Charles Organs. Well, he's still alive, God bless. Charles Brown, who saved.
This is a human condition, right? This is a human suffering that we're seeing in Portsmouth, in Greene County, in SNCI, in Wilkinson County, all throughout this state, y'all. We've been focusing on Portsmouth, but we cannot forget about all the rest of our brothers and sisters throughout. Do we understand that?
unapologetically black. I'm black, capital A, capital F. I love black women. Hennessy, black with no chaser.
What comes to mind is no cut cards. We're not holding back anything as black people, regardless of whatever the struggles, regardless of whatever pain, everything that we pretty much felt in 2020. Black with no chaser represents we not holding nothing back 2021. Everything they said we couldn't get, we coming to get.
Really appreciate y'all. This has been one of the most amazing interviews I've ever done.
Well, like this Black with No Chaser radio station.
All right, my brother.
What comes to mind when you hear Black with No Chaser?
I love it, man, because I think that it's a medium that we can speak truth and that we can have straight talk. And sometimes it's going to take straight talk to deal with our situation, because we're in a nefarious crisis right now. And I think that we should have a platform that we can speak truth to the highest degree.
I mean, it's just being frank. It's just real talk. You know, when I see Black with No Chaser, you know, we finna get to it. It's the real deal. No sugarcoating, just right to it.